Right. Yeah. So what I was saying was that right there, that experience of emotion be more of a, you know what I'm saying, comforting because uh it'll be more of a comforting square because that Jupiter Gemini, you know what I'm saying, is gonna wanna be active and, you know what I'm saying, fluid through what it's thinking and or communicating, you know what I'm saying, in its environment and shit like that, and it's creating a frequency of in its environment, um, from what it's gaining wisdom and knowledge, experience out of, try to, you know, be communicative and stuff about that and give words to it, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, put it into words and language and shit like that, or way that you could communicate it or something like that, something that you can, like, you know what I'm saying, be more fluid about and shit like that, that um that you can have an emotion and experience in, because since since Pisces is in Venus and shit like that, it's gonna wanna hold that down in a way of the 10th house from Gemini, gonna wanna initiate and create, you know what I'm saying, have a status or something that you have within your dreams, beliefs, faith, beliefs, imagination, delusion, shit like that, to wanna, you know what I'm saying, show value, love, and appreciation for those dreams, faith, beliefs, imagination, delusions, being able to see, you know, have a status of that, and have the ability to bring that to reality with Saturn there as well, have the status of that dream, faith, belief, and imagination, delusion, and shit like that, have status and a career or business affiliated with that dream, faith, belief, imagination that you have an imagery for, or something that you can have faith and belief in and shit like that, something that you can, you know, have a dream-like energy in. So that's gonna be like that emotion of experience for Pisces, you being able to emotionally experience your dreams in the way you can have, you know, have a business in that through Gemini and Jupiter, squaring Pisces and Saturn, and Venus, Saturn, and Neptune. So that's gonna be like you being able to easily, you see what I'm saying, learn how you can just, you know what I'm saying, bring more of your dreams into reality and shit like that. But as well as Venus being exalted in Pisces, you being able to give love, value, and appreciation for that too. So that's pretty much how I can see that experience of emotion and that physical experience for the experience of emotion play out physical experience, as in the Pisces being brought into reality in Saturn, and showed love, value, appreciation for in Venus, and added on more of a, you know, way that you can create that imagination, faith, belief, and delusion from fucking Neptune and shit. So yeah, so and yeah, pretty much from there, shit, Cancer and the moon and Mars and Cancer, it's gonna be like since we have an emotion of experiencing that, or from that, I should say. Yeah, I mean, in that and from that, from Aries squaring Cancer to Libra squaring Cancer. The Libra square is gonna be more of a, you know, since we're gonna be able to experience that emotion in Libra from Cancer, that fourth house, Cancer being Libra, us creating a relationship and an emotional connection and shit like that, and reacting, responding, and having passion and motivation for that, for a family privacy and shit like that is gonna create like a, you know, more relatable energy and shit like that as well. But with it being fallen there in Mars and shit like that, its emotional experience is gonna come out in a way of, you know what I'm saying, maybe see frustration, or you know what I'm saying, or some type of desire or embarrassment come up from the experience of emotion in Cancer to or experience of emotion in Libra, South Node, Libra, Lilith. You know what I'm saying? That first embarrassment, Lilith, the desire, shit like that, and that comfort, safety and security. Cause you know what I'm saying? It's not not the best thing all the time, because you know what I'm saying, you want to change shit up, you want to be able to be moldable and fluid and shit like that, but be able to create your own, initiate your own relationship, and you know what I'm saying, mutual standing when it comes to how you feel comfortable and safe and secure within that, and how you can relate your desire or relationship, relatability, energy, and shit like that to the way you're experiencing your emotion. So what we're having a physical experience in is going to be physically in, you know what I'm saying, which makes this an interesting square right now, because it's going to be in debilitated Mars and home and Cancer. So yeah, it's like yeah, would you feel comfortable and safe and secure within your relationships and shit like that, trying to be all, you know what I'm saying, emotionally experiencing that through that. It's gonna be, you know, 10th house Cancer from Libra, 10th house Cancer in Mars and the moon. So you passionately and motivated about your home, family, security, and you know, familiarity, privacy, energy, and shit like that, as well as creating emotional connection with it, is gonna seem like it's like trying to you see what I'm saying, emotionally stand on business and shit, but battle between that fallen energy in Cancer and 10th house from Libra, Mars, where it's exalted at. So it's gonna have to balance the power like that, but as well, you know what I'm saying, see the totality of the initiation of the internal energy being created to where it you know, transmute the desire of the external from what it wants to be seen as and shit. So its status, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. So transmute that internal, you know what I'm saying, debilitated emotion, shit like that, initiate and create your status and shit like that off of what homely like emotion and shit like that you created from your internal and shit like that, that you can bring at the business as well and shit like that. So that you can be sophisticated and cordial and calm, cool, collected about, to where you don't have to, you know, emotionally crash out or whatever the case. So you're standing on business when it comes to that emotion of experience in that Libra aspect, then with your relationships, then, you know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna be, from that experience of emotion, having a physical experience in Libra, Lilith and South Node, you know, what your first embarrassments, desires, whatever the case may be with your relationships, and bringing up how you feel comfortable, safe, and secure within that, and how you can relate and, you know, relate in your relationships about that, the way we relate and shit like that, can be seen as fucking Capricorn. You standing on business in that, you gain emotional experience out of Capricorn, what you want to be seen as, or want to be, you know what I'm saying, known for, have a status built upon. It's gonna be your emotional experience in the way that you taking action, the way that you thinking and communicating and analyzing about that, and the way that you built your blueprint from your, you know, seeds that you planted from this beginning of this death season and winter You know what I'm saying? Winter solstice and shit like that. So that's how that's gonna play out from your physical experience that you're gonna have. You're gonna have an emotion of experience dealing with how you've been taking actions and shit and planting seeds and shit like that. This emotion of experience from Capricorn though is gonna be Aries. So Aries, Chiron, North Node, with you going on a spiritual path about your personal interests, investments, and affairs and shit like that, and how you transforming and that pain and suffering maybe into healing and growth and shit like that. It's gonna be your emotion of experience from what you standing on business in and what you motherfucking want to be seen or have a status or have a, you know what I'm saying, image and, you know what I'm saying, career around in yeah, and what you taking actions in, and from the blueprint that you created and initiated earlier in this winter solstice, from how you thinking, communicating, and analyzing on that blueprint, as well as taking actions in that blueprint and seeing different viewpoints of how you can take actions in that blueprint and seeing how you can, you know what I'm saying, physically experience that in a better way to experience the emotion of you personally going on that spiritual path and personally being able to transform that pain, suffering, and healing and growth and shit like that. So pretty much it for the experience of emotion, expression of character, how that's gonna go down. Taurus and Uranus, Capricorn, and you know what I'm saying, Sun and not Neptune, goddamn me, Mercury. Yo, expression of character gonna be more in a way of you individualizing, you know what I'm saying, for this trine, you visualize, not, you know what I'm saying, you visualizing mentally how you can, you know what I'm saying, come from a metaphysical standpoint or a angle of gaining wisdom, knowledge, and experiences of gaining morality or a point or, you know what I'm saying, something that you can aim at or something like that, shit like that, from your metaphysical travel in Capricorn, and what you taking actions and analyzing and communicating on and shit like that, and standing on business in and shit like that, from what you initiated, created earlier in this winter solstice. It's gonna be being played out as an expression of character through Taurus, which you individualizing as far as your gifts, talents, and values, and what you creating and innovating as far as how you can reflect that internal esteem to material, maternal, externally, you know what I'm saying, to that in itself, that material and maternal energy being reflected in that same value as to where you're, you know what I'm saying, being self-esteem sustainable. You feel me? And that's gonna be like how that expression of character is going to be playing out for Capricorn, being able to visualize how you can stand on business better, how you can, you know what I'm saying, with the ways that you taking actions and communicating and analyzing a point, you know what I'm saying, to express your character in that way of where your values, gifts, talents, and individual, unique, you know, changeable, or not changeable, you know what I'm saying, unique individual curated type vision that you, long-term vision that you see for your gifts, talents, and values, you know what I'm saying, and being able to, you see what I'm saying, express that in a way of it's like not really just going against something, but also bringing something new into existence and shit like that. So yeah, expression of character from there. And Gemini and Jupiter is going to be like you metaphysically being able to travel through that. Ninth house Gemini, Libra being the fifth house of Gemini, Libra being fifth house of Gemini, and Gemini being ninth house of Libra. So you being able to metaphysically travel and shit like that, from what you gaining wisdom, knowledge, and experiences in, and how you communicating that, and your environment and shit like that. That's gonna be how your expression character is gonna play out through your relationships, way of relating, and relatability energy in your relations, because the expression of character is in that it's fifth house to Gemini, so you're gonna be able to be, you see what I'm saying, more expressive when it comes to how you're thinking and communicating about that wisdom and knowledge. So that's the trine from that. That's going to be able to allow you to be relatable and bring up those first, desires, emotions, or embarrassments when it comes to doing that, and as well as being comfortable, safe, and secure within that. So how you know what I'm saying, gaining that wisdom and knowledge and experience and shit, and metaphysically traveling and you know what I'm saying, getting to a point in that that experience and shit that you creating in your environment, shit like that. So Cancer with the Pisces expression of character in Cancer going to be from Pisces, from what we metaphysically traveling and having a point to reach from our own you know what I'm saying, or like, our own collective, as well as the collective dream, faith, belief, imagination, delusions of others, shit like that, is going to be in the way of us being metaphysically traveling and having a point to reach in our value, love, and appreciation, the way we build on you know what I'm saying, Venus in Pisces for our dreams, faith, beliefs, imagination, delusions, and Saturn in Pisces, where we stand on business, how we can build on reality with that dreams, faith, and beliefs, imagination, delusions. Neptune, how we can create and curate and imaginate and introduce more faith, beliefs, imagination, delusions to, or give an expression of that to that faith, belief, and imagination, delusion. Play out through Cancer, what we're passionate and motivated about, and creating and initiating emotional connection and reaction and response to our, home, family, and privacy and shit like that. Being able to be our expression of character through what we get to a point in our dreams, faith, belief, and imagination, delusions, shit like that. So that's pretty much how that expression of character and metaphysical travel will play out, shit like that. So going on to Libra in Lilith in North Node, so South Node, my bad. That's going to be, okay, expression of character in Aquarius. Pluto will be taking transformations and power and shit and control over our associations, associates in the public arena. That shit gonna be more of like an expression of character for how we get into a point in our relationships, how we get into a metaphysical travel and a metaphysical, you know what I'm saying, accumulation of our mind, and how we're seeing that we can gain wisdom, knowledge, and experience out of that. Relationship, relatability, energy, and relations is going to be getting to a point of expressing our character in, you know what I'm saying, being able to express our character of that faith, not faith, but, embarrassment, desire, or emotion, or first, being able to be comfortable, safe, and secure within that relationship is going to be transformed in our power and association, our power and controlling our associations, associates in the public. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a expression of that character. So, expression of character going on from Aquarius to Gemini, being in the Jupiter, being an expression of character for Aquarius is going to be like Aquarius having that metaphysical travel of you getting to a point in your power and controlling associations that you have, you know what I'm saying, or that you're curating and shit like that. So, it's going to be being showed as a character, an expression of a character that you're going to have from how you go about that Aquarius individual, unique way that you're going about your power and controlling your associations and associates in the public and shit like that. It's going to be playing through Gemini, how you thinking and communicating and analyzing your communicating and more creating your frequency of your environment and shit like that, and your wisdom, and you know what I'm saying, how you get wisdom and knowledge and gain experience out of that and communicate that is going to be how you expressing your character. So of getting to that point of you transforming your power and control, you know what I'm saying, that you have for your associates, and the public. It's be more of like, you know what I'm saying, expressing a fun and lightweight type shit, because Gemini likes to be in, you know what I'm saying, fifth house, shit like that, because Gemini's third house is Leo and shit like that. So that's how kind of the way I could see it, like wanting to be in a fun and light way to gain wisdom, knowledge, and experience out of, as well as create that frequency in your environment, being that expression of character from how you taking power and control in your associations. And that's pretty much the expression of character and shit like that. It's expansion of what I call the you know what I'm saying, experience of expansion is the King Kong. So that's the experience of or you know what I'm saying, I mean not experience, but I should say embodiment, because it's more of like the Virgo energy and shit like that. Virgo, Scorpio energy, like embodiment. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a mental rebirth and have a embodiment within Virgo, being the body and shit like that, being the harvest, being and shit like that. The you feeling in the gut, you know what I'm saying? That embodiment of what you feel in your gut, shit like that, is right now gonna be from Libra, being in Lilith and South Node. What your relationships and relations and where you go about your relatable energy and your, you know what I'm saying, the first embarrassments, desires, or you know what I'm saying, comfortability energy is going to be expression of your embodiment and expansion of, you know what I'm saying, the Taurus, being in the Taurus energy of Uranus being fallen there or whatever the case. But that's going to be the, you see what I'm saying, mental rebirth for the excuse me, the expansion and embodiment to, you know what I'm saying, be curated from and shit like that. So that's where the embodiment and expansion and that sixth house between sixth house Virgo to Scorpio works out for me. I think, you know what I'm saying, Virgo being the embodiment of expansion, Scorpio being Virgo's they're not Virgos, but yeah, Scorpio being in itself mental rebirth. So we're gonna have a mental rebirth through our individual value that we're having to give talent and, you know what I'm saying, value in our in making individual and curating a unique way to go about that maternal material energy from our self-esteem internally to externally to which we can, you know what I'm saying, match up. It's gonna be playing out in a mental rebirth way to a house from Libra, our relationships and the way we go about relating, our relatable energy is going to be being mentally rebirthed through Uranus and Taurus. So that's the way that we're going to, you know what I'm saying, go about mentally and emotionally rebirthing that into Taurus, you know what I'm saying? So with yeah, Libra being the embodiment of the expansion in general, that's going to be being played out through the relationships then. You see what I'm saying? So, and how we feel comfortable, safe, secure within that, how we build, you know what I'm saying, build on to relating in that desire that we think that it may be so harsh, or, you know what I'm saying, embarrassment, or, you know what I'm saying, something that may hurt us with our first emotions and shit like that, whatever the case may be and shit like that. So in our relationships, that is. So that's going to be the embodiment of what how we're expanding the mental rebirth, you know what I'm saying? So mentally rebirthing or having an embodiment of expansion in Capricorn and the sun and Mercury. You know what I'm saying? What we stand on business about and what we initiating creating a new status and career, business, shit like that in is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, embodiment of expansion for Gemini and Jupiter, what we think that we're, you know what I'm saying, analyzing, communicating, and building a frequency of in our environment and shit like that, gaining the wisdom and knowledge out of that. It's gonna be being a mental rebirth of how we're going about that actions and viewpoints of standing on business and creating and initiating a business or, you know what I'm saying, status or career and shit. And how we're thinking, communicating, and analyzing not only about that, but taking actions in that is going to be how we're embodying that expansion. So going on from there, the embodiment of expansion from Cancer, you know what I'm saying, to Aquarius and Pluto, we'll be taking power and control over in our transforming in our associates in a public arena. It's going to be like embodiment of expansion for, it's going to be the mental rebirth, which is 8th house to Cancer. It's going to be the mental rebirth. So that power and control in the transformation of our associates in the public arena is going to be taking place in a mental rebirth from the embodiment of expansion of Cancer, being that emotional, reaction response connection that we make with our emotions, and curation energy of having our passions, motivations being directed in our home, family, and privacy is going to be the embodiment and the expansion of the embodiment from our mental rebirth, shit like that. So from there, Lilith in South Node in Libra, embodiment of expansion in Pisces. From that, from Lilith in South Node Libra being the mental rebirth, our relationships and shit like that is what we're mentally rebirthing from our dreams, faith, beliefs, imagination, delusions. So what we have dream, faith, belief, imagination, delusion, as we're embodying the having an embodiment of expansion of that mental rebirth in our relationships, relatability energy, and the way that we go about relating and shit like that. So with our first embarrassments, desires, shit like that, whatever the case may be, how we feel comfortable within that, that's going to be how we're mentally rebirthing, going about those relationships, or how we're going to be mentally rebirthing, going about those relationships is going to be the way that Kinko's works out between them, so they don't have a misunderstanding and a imbalance of getting to the point, but it actually expands on the point and actually, you know what I'm saying? So between those energies, actually, that 8th house, 6th house aspect of 8th house, Libra being a mental rebirth, to Pisces, 6th house from Libra being an embodiment of expansion through being able to, you know what I'm saying, think, analyze and have and shit about the, analyze about the embodiment of expansion of the faith, belief, imagination, delusion in, your gifts, values, talents, and shit like that. Venus, Saturn, and and Neptune going about that belief, faith, belief, imagination, delusion, in a expansion and embodiment way to analyze that and shit and see how you can expand on that, you know what I'm saying, from having a mental rebirth in Libra, South Node, Lilith, you being able to change and rebirth that mentally, that relationship and those relationships, relatability energies and balance energies to how you can, you know what I'm saying, rebirth the way that you're going about that feeling and that, you know what I'm saying, of that first embarrassment and desire and the Lilith and that South Node, that comfortability energy, rebirthing a way that you can mentally go about that and shit like that. So transforming that, basically killing, you know what I'm saying, killing, dying off from what was previously there in that space and creating a new, rebirthing a, you know what I'm saying, new mentality. So, and that's pretty much what the fuck is it for the it's embodiment of expansion, you know what I'm saying, expansion of embodiment and shit like that, as far as the 6th house, 8th house aspect of the mental rebirth, you know what I'm saying, and embodiment of expansion, the balance of power, you know what I'm saying. What we're gonna be having for that pretty much is just Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn. You know, we going on our spiritual path and developing as far as our transforming abilities and how we have healing go about it, and pain, what we have, you know, may have a mistake or have go through pain and suffering within, or go through some type of, you know what I'm saying, having to heal energy, and we're dealing with our personal value and our interests and shit like that as well. Going on our spiritual path about that is gonna be being a balance of power for Libra, you know what I'm saying? So 7th house to Libra, it being having to be relatable, you know what I'm saying, in relationships, and the way you relate, that personal value and interest and shit that you are going in your own spiritual path about it, that you are curating, as far as bringing a new way to have an influence or a power of an influence and shit like that, and balance that power out through your relationships and shit like that. For Libra, it's gonna be the balance of power for Aries. So you know what I'm saying, that those relationships and the way you go about relating and shit like that is gonna be dealing with the South Node and Lilith. You know what I'm saying? Transformation as far as how you relating and shit within those relationships and shit like that. Relating and getting that relatable energy to be balanced in that you know what I'm saying, that power of that balance of that relatable energy. So that's pretty much how that goes for that. And what you feel safe, secure, and comfort within, and basically your embarrassments, desires. So balancing that relatable energy between that and your relationships. And yeah, how you individually, you know what I'm saying, from 7th house of Aries go about that, you know what I'm saying, relationships and shit like that. So also balance of power in Moon and Mars and Cancer, where you react and respond and create an emotional connection and have a passion or motivation or desire and shit like that in your home, family, and privacy. It's gonna be like what you're relating in your relationships and your relatability energy to how you're standing on business and shit like that. So that's gonna be like you being able to initiate and create your own emotions and shit within your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Within how you react and responding to that and create an emotional connection to that, and how you're passionate and invested and motivated and motivatedly invested into your home, family, and privacy. You know what I'm saying? So as well as a balance of power in Capricorn, being 7th house to Cancer, Sun and Mercury, which you're standing on business about in your actions, communicating in your viewpoints, and communicating and analyzing and shit like that, with how your status and career and shit like that is being built and initiated and created, those from those seeds you planted. You know what I'm saying? The full moon posing the Sun and Capricorn and shit like that. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, you relating and relates to your relationships and your relatable energy is going to be how you emotionally, internally came from, you know what I'm saying, your cup that you fulfilled with the full moon in Cancer now being there, and your home, family, and privacy, the way you stand on business about that and shit like that. And so coming from that, basically, that's pretty much the full moon energies and shit like that. And I did want to get into, you see what I'm saying, the way that I even break down these videos, which is like the balance and completion of power in the aspects guide and shit like that. So I'm gonna make that video next and shit like that, but this is kind of just like a little rundown of it. So the balance and completion of power in the aspects guide is outside the conjunctions and outside of the oppositions, which is from the 1st through 12th house. Outside of the first house conjunctions between each sign and the 7th house opposition between each sign, you know what I'm saying? The balance of power and shit like that. The air and fire houses complete that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go deeper into it though, but that basically pretty much explains it, how you can build on this guide yourself and go off of an astrology template that you can create your own astrological, you know what I'm saying, astrological way of explaining astrology or something, you know what I'm saying? So this is like a guide to it, but I'm gonna create this in the next video and shit like that, so y'all look forward to that. And yeah, are you fulfilled when it comes to how you are standing on business in your home, family, and privacy and shit like that? If you are, then stay spiritually protected. And famous Mellow, huh? Love y'all.